morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Knitting Place podcast. Number 41.
There you go.
It's been so long, I forgot how many.
I know. Isn't that true? I can't believe it's in the 40s already.
It's crazy. Well, today is Tuesday, August 18th, and we are back. We have a lot to share, a lot to cover. It feels like forever.
It's been a while.
I'm Dina. You can find me at The Knitting Place on Instagram, Ravelry, Facebook, and I think that's it.
You can find Pam Sapp. You can find me on, not Ravelry. Well, Ravelry is Pam Sapp and Instagram is Pam Sapp.
Facebook, Pam Sapienza.
Pam Sapienza.
We have to cover all the social media.
Yeah, I'm not on that. Well, true. That's true.
All right, we're a little rusty. It's been a while. It's a long while.
To say the least, right?
I want to start by apologizing. If you follow us on Instagram, I most recently said I hate to podcast.
That's not true.
It's not true. But the anxiety about podcasting, I think that's what gives me angst. I do enjoy sharing. This is my passion, my craft. I love everything about it. It's being in front of the camera and talking to you all that puts me.
Well, I think it's, you have to, what are you going to talk about? Are we going to leave anything out?
We're scrambling to get everything
trying to get everything ready. And, the preparation that goes into this on a scale of 1 to 10 is
I'm
what?
Sweating right now. Pam might be taking off her top in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I will. I'm very hot right now. What I was going to say, we've also tried to podcast probably every week for the past 2 weeks.
Crazy.
It was like Thursday, Friday, then it was Monday, Tuesday.
Yesterday.
Yeah. So.
But it's Tuesday. Here we are. Happy to be back.
That's what counts, right?
And that's what counts. All right. So last time, I think we left you off with a question.
We wanted them to ask, what did they want to know? Did they want to ask us any questions, I think?
Right.
Not what they wanted to know about us, but what was some questions they had.
So I'm going to start with the first one. I mean, obviously there were a lot of questions. I mean, there were several comments. Thank you everyone for watching.
Yeah, thanks for all those who answered.
For comments. Mm-hmm. We are so grateful for each and every one of you. Okay, first one. Does Pam have a husband?
Oh, that's the first one you have to put in. Actually, I don't. No, it's true.
You have a yarn husband.
Well, you know how it is.
True.
No, I do have a husband. I have a husband, yes. His name is Andrew.
How long are you married?
39 years.
Wow. What's the secret?
You knit. I don't know.
Which brings me to our next question. Do our husbands have a hobby? What do they do while we're knitting?
Well, go ahead. You answer it first, Dina.
Well, usually I knit in the morning. That's my time.
You knit besides the morning, though, too, don't you?
Not really. Only if I'm under crunch. And I usually make mistakes, so I stay away from knitting any time past my morning. Actually, my husband's usually sleeping in the morning when I'm knitting. He'll often wake up while I'm in the middle of knitting. Mm-hmm. He's reading the newspaper. That's basically what he's doing.
He doesn't care that you're knitting.
He doesn't care that I'm knitting. He cares at night when I knit.
Do the needles bother him, the noise of the needle?
No, I'm very quiet.
Yeah, you're not a loud knitter.
I'm not a loud knitter. But at night, does not like it when I'm knitting. So if we're watching
television... Like at night if you're watching television. Now, why is that?
I don't know.
Do you ever feel like, there are times, I'm sure, that you just feel anxious about something or...
Yeah,
you really feel the need. Well, not even that, but sometimes you just feel like you want to knit, because sometimes it's calming.
So I have the opposite effect. When I'm anxious, I can't knit.
Really?
Right. It's only when I'm calm.
So if you wanted to knit and you were watching television, you would say, I'm not knitting tonight.
No, I might take it out. But it depends on what it is.
Why doesn't he want you knitting at night when you're watching television?
He wants me focused on what we're watching. If he asks me a question, he wants to make sure I'm on my game.
Do you feel that you can answer the question if you're knitting?
I think it depends on what I'm knitting. Usually
it depends on what you're watching.
Well, both.
True, right?
I'm not usually doing mindless knitting. Often
Correct.
I'm not.
Right.
So I kind of really need to look or count. If I had a mindless project, perhaps. But... I don't know. I haven't really done that lately. How about you?
Do I? Well,
what does Andrew do while you're knitting?
Andrew's always one that likes to listen to things, to a podcast, or he likes to read. But of late, his passion is the guitar. He was in a band when he was young, and he wanted to be a music major in college until his father said, "You can't make a living being a musician," right? Which probably is not. I'm sure it's maybe more difficult, So he kind of abandoned it. And
it's such a shame.
Which it really is. He has a Les Paul guitar, which anyone who knows guitars knows that's a big name in guitars.
Gotta ask Jake.
So, especially with this pandemic, he's gotten even more into guitars. He does the way we listen to podcasts. He listens, and he's even signed up for, now I can't even think what it is, but if you were going to take not a lesson, were you going to some kind of like a seminar or something online, he signed up for that.
Okay, classes online? Music classes?
Guess, I don't know if it's an exact class, but he just enjoy, and it's funny because what's the song that he's been playing now? It's an old song. And he said to me, he commented, "You ever love," he's using that song because he loves that song, but he practiced it so much he can't stand listening to it anymore, which is true. But the other day, the kids were coming over, Lucy and Olive, and he has 2 guitars on stands, and he moved them into the bedroom. I said, "Why are you moving them into the bedroom?" I said, "The kids don't touch them. I think they know at this point not to fool around with the guitars." And he said, "Well, someone might ask me to play, and I don't want to play." I said, "The odd thing is,
fun.
They all know that he plays, but he's not. He won't just pick up the guitar and play. He just won't do that. So ask me why he's taking all these lessons. He's trying to learn theory because he feels that that's what he needs, guitar theory. But he's really very good. He's got a good ear for music and sound.
He doesn't sit around and play and let the kids.
Oh, for the kids,
but let the kids sing and dance.
No, he doesn't. You would think he would, right?
Imagine if he played the Hokey Pokey and the girls started dancing in the living room. That'd be so cute.
But that's his passion. And on Saturday they came over for a brunch, and Olive was taking a nap. And he said, "Well, when are we going to do something, whatever it was?" And I said, "Well, what are you doing?" He said, "I need to practice." Well, I need to knit too, and you don't see that happening. No, but that's his latest.
He's got to learn that song that the girls like, Frozen. And what's the other one?
They love Frozen.
What's the video?
Oh,
with the sharks.
They love sharks. Well, now Olive's new thing now that everyone is just ready to kill themselves when they hear it is 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed.
That one too.
She loves that song. Every time she sees you, she asks you for the monkeys.
Olive or Lucy?
Olive. Yeah, 5 little
Cute.
monkeys. So we're wondering. My daughter keeps saying, "When do you think she's going to outgrow the monkeys?" I said, "Yeah, she'll outgrow the monkeys, but then there's going to be something else just as obnoxious that she's going to."
Very cute.
Very cute, right?
Super cute.
So that's his hobby.
Okay, one more. How did we meet?
Now that's the big one.
Do you want to share or should I?
You start, go ahead.
Well, how long ago did I open the store? My God.
23 years ago.
It's 23 years. I never celebrate a birthday
1997.
or an anniversary. I just don't do that.
No.
I really should start.
You should.
We're here 23 years, and when I first opened, Pam was a customer.
I was, yeah.
Pam used to get her nails done.
Next door?
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, I am in a very small shopping center. I'm looking outside. Mm-hmm. There's a parking lot with 7 stores, and 2 doors down is a nail salon, and Pam used to frequent there every week religiously.
When my kids were young.
Sariva Nails?
Yes. Rosa still, well, when I get my nails done, I still go to Rosa, but
she's not there anymore, but she followed her.
Yeah.
So anyway, Pam used to needlepoint. Many of you don't know that half of my shop when I first opened was dedicated to needlepoint.
Correct.
It was needlepoint and knitting. And
crocheting.
Oh, always crocheting too.
Mm-hmm.
But we've kind of phased out the needlepoint.
It was too much to have everything.
Yes. And Pam started coming in. She was doing, what was your first? Don't tell me.
Oh, you can't remember that, Dina.
The first one was an alphabet sampler? What was your first?
No.
Was it the christening booth?
Yes.
Was it really? You started with that and then Francesca's alphabet sampler?
Yeah, I have 4 kids and my very
freaky memory.
My very good friend was having her 4th after, it had been a number of years. I think she had twins before and they were maybe 8 or 9. And she was having her 4th. And she said to me, "I want you to be the godmother." So when she said that, I had to do something special. So I came into the shop and I picked out a booty sampler. A booty. Well, you make the booties and then you send them away to be sewn into booties. It was
Right.
pet-a-point.
Right.
It was pet-a-point, so I did that.
Beautiful. Did she ever get the case that
Yes, she was
to be a
christened.
box
I'm sure I have a picture of it somewhere. But she was christened wearing the booties,
So
and then
cute.
my girlfriend had one of those. It was an antique
Like a keepsake
end table,
cup?
right?
Okay.
That had a glass lid that opens with wood, and she had special things in there, and in there are the booties.
How gorgeous. Amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's basically how we met. And then I asked you if you knit because you had done it several.
You said you knit and crochet.
Right. You said you crocheted.
I said I did both.
Right.
But and then you said, well, what have you made? I said, well, I can't make anything. I learned as a kid, but I wasn't actively knitting or crocheting at the time.
Right.
Other than a random, throw or something that I might make.
Now, wait, was your mom crocheting at the time?
My mom crocheted. But again, it was, with knitting and crocheting, you may not do it for a year and then you decide there's a baby and you're going to make whatever. When my kids were babies, my mother knit and crochet them some things. She'd go to her local yarn shop, and she'd make something. She was, it was more basic, it wasn't anything. If you said a short row, she wouldn't know what a short row is. Mm-hmm. No, I don't remember. I remember going as a child up the avenue under the elevated, in New York, there was the L, we'd call it the L, the elevated subway, and there was a yarn shop. And for some reason in my mind, I remember the lady sitting on lawn chairs.
Really?
I swear to God. And my mother and I were both making car coats, and it was using doubled yarn held together. And the collar had those loops, when you make loops that look like...
Fringe loops?
Yeah, the looped fringe, right. And my mother's was avocado and cream, because back then avocado
was a hot color.
And rust and all those colors, right? And mine was green with like a light yellow.
Pretty.
Yeah, and that was my coat. So I did do that, but, as far as knitting or crocheting on a regular basis, I didn't do that. Until Dina said...
You got to knit something.
So then after I did the sampler booties, I crocheted a blanket. That's the blanket you're thinking of, the pink, different shades of pink, raspberry pink, light pink.
We have to bring that back.
And we made it like a gingham. So we did little, granny squares like a gingham. It was very cute.
That was so popular when I first opened.
Yeah, so I did that. And then I started, after that I knit. I was knitting. I guess that was that the throw I made for Patrice?
The chinchilla.
Chinchilla throw. I came in one day, it was going like this. Shh.
The reason we're laughing, it was like, imagine you start with 48 inches of width and all of a sudden it's 60 inches wide. She had this giant sleeve of an Afghan.
I did.
She was increasing at the beginning of everything.
So we had to take it off and, and
frog it.
But now my girlfriend Patrice that I made that for, she's very gift worthy, knit worthy, because she uses...
Does she still have it?
Oh, yeah.
That chinchilla yarn was so luxurious.
I like chinchilla.
Fabulous.
I think we have
yarn.
a few skeins still floating around somewhere.
For the chemo caps.
Yeah, we were doing that. And then I made her, believe it or not, remember the alligator wrap?
The alligator wrap? You made her one?
Yes. Could you believe
alligator wrap?
Could you believe I gave that away?
Wow. She's definitely knitworthy then.
I gave that away. You know how much work that is?
For those of you who don't know.
We have to, the next podcast we'll show when alligator wrap is. And then I also made her and gave her. I crocheted that. Who was the crochet designer that we were doing a lot of her stuff?
Oh gosh, it's
I want to say Melanie Berg. It's not Melanie Berg. It's
She did the designs on steroids. She did exploded
what
all
was
the
that?
crochet.
We have one here. Well,
there was Kathy Merrick.
It used about 10 colors of...
That was Kathy
Merrick. It was Kathy Merrick.
No, but there was another designer who did she
yes, there
exploded
was.
the lace.
Yes.
But you're talking about Kathy
I'm
Merrick
talking
shawl.
about Kathy Merrick shawl, right.
Yeah.
Remember, we used Quaigu. Was it just Quaigu we used?
Yes.
It was Quaigu. And was it 10? Now, I know the alligator was 10 colors. Or was it 5 colors? 10 colors.
I think it was 5, but we did maybe
Repeat
7 or
twice.
8.
I don't remember. But anyway, this was like, the Kathy
flower,
Merrick piece was lovely. That was 10
shawl.
colors.
Gorgeous.
She has that. I gave it to her. Isn't that crazy?
You made another one for yourself.
I made a scarf.
Yeah.
I made a scarf. But she
has
that.
To do a little crocheted
episode. But as a matter of fact, we were doing these Zoom things that we do during the quarantine,
Yes,
right?
Tuesday night.
And she has it. She believe it or not, you know what she uses that for? Only Patrice could do this. She uses it as a throw in her on her den.
That's gorgeous.
She's knitworthy. Anyway,
That's nice.
So that's how I met Dinah, was coming into the shop. So I started coming in as a customer, right?
Yeah.
You know, it was about 1997, and then I became addicted. So, you know, having 4 kids and having Dinah had 2 kids at the time. I remember her telling me she wanted to have 4. I had just had my 4th. No, a few years before. He was young.
I was asking you how it was.
How it was with 4 kids. So anyway, so then I would always come in having 4 kids if I had a sporting event or a doctor's appointment. You know how that goes. You always have your knitting with you. So that's how it really was, you know, reignited, right?
Yeah, it was fun.
And that was it.
Fun.
Then fast forward.
I needed help.
This was like maybe...
How many years ago?
8. Well, it was 8 years later. It was when did Emily go to school? 2004 or 5? She graduated in 2004. She started college at the end of 2004. I started in March of 2005.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was working at Michael's. Michael's had just opened up.
I had a partner at the time.
Yeah.
I had stopped in at Michael's. I don't remember what I was getting. And I saw Pam in the yarn aisle. And I said, oh, my God. And I didn't have, you know, I'm so shy. I came back to the store. I'm like, Michelle, I have to go talk to
Pam. So you told Michelle to go to talk to me. Did Michelle come and talk to me?
She did.
She did. I remember that.
She
did.
Yeah.
So
that's how it started. So
right.
then Pam came here to work.
Right. And I when my oldest went to college, I said I really should do something. So I remember I was driving past Michael's, and they were opening, so they were hiring people.
Bustling there at the time.
And at the time, I went in. I was just driving by. It was on impulse. If I thought about it, I probably wouldn't have gone in. So I went in and helped them set up the store when they were opening. And it was maybe I was there 6 months or something like that when I saw you. And the rest is history.
The rest is history. And here we are. Well, thank you for the questions. We'll have to come up with a new one at the end of the segment.
Well, there's a lot of things you realize. It's funny, we're talking now about the Kathy Merrick crochet thing, and I can't remember that. What was that other lady? The one you're talking about, the exploded crochet. That was lovely.
Doris Chan?
Is it Doris? No. Is it Doris Chan? Yeah, maybe. Is it Doris Chan?
Is that a customer?
Might be a customer.
It was Doris.
Sure. Was it Doris?
Doris. I'm going to look it up.
I have to look it up. Anyway.
I have to.
There, you know, the history of the shop is such that, right, what goes around comes around.
Yes.
Sometimes, right? And we'll oftentimes find something and say, gee, we really should do that again. You know, it's been 10 years, right?
It's crazy. But if you think about it, like, you know, I always have angst even when we set up for Folk Knitting Live. What are we going to take? What's new? What's hot? And I don't remember.
And customers are asking that now for this fall.
I don't remember who it was that said, Dinah, you don't have to always come up with something new because you have a relatively, like, there's certainly people that come and attend the shows every single year, but there are those that are new.
Right,
and
right.
They missed last year or the year before, so you can continue to bring.
And there are people that even things 5 years ago, they haven't seen them.
Correct. So.
Yeah, anyway. There are many things. So because of the history of the shop,
I can't believe it's been that long.
There is a long history. So we talk about all these great pieces, the alligator wrap, remember that? Or Joan used to call it the condo stitch, remember?
The condo
stitch years ago. And
there's the other one.
Joan is like 91, and when she had a yarn shop, and when she was knitting, she said they would call it the condo stitch.
It is Doris Chan.
It is Doris Chan, huh?
Yes.
Loved her stuff.
Yeah, so if you crocheters out there, Doris Chan, snag her books.
Yeah, she did exploded lace. She would take like what would be a traditional doily pattern, and I have that at home. I have I have that at home too.
I have shawls.
Yes,
oh my God, the
should
pineapple
bring that.
shawl.
Yes, I have the skirt. And I have the other top that I made out of the gold glitter stuff.
Chanel jacket.
I should wear that. Maybe on the next.
They don't fit me. I've made so much. Wow. Anyway.
In any event, but that was fun. So the point is, the shop has a lot of history, although we're not getting any older, right, Dinah?
No.
We could go into
my gray has nothing to do with.
We could go into the knitting. You know how they say go into the vaults and pull out a goodie. Which stay tuned to the end because you will see a goodie. You won't be sorry. Trust me, right, Dinah?
Embarrassing me. All right.
Trust me. Go ahead. Talk about knitting. Let's see.
All right, let's move on.
What are we doing?
We are going to talk about FOs.
Finished objects. Well, I'm wearing one.
What is it?
It's the Peep Show.
Lovely. Very pretty. Stop.
That's the reason why I'm holding my hands. It's kind of washed out in the picture, though, right?
No, I think you kind of see it. You see all the different colors.
But look at what you're seeing here. Look at this.
When you hold still, you see the color variation nicely.
Yeah. Anyway, so what happened to me, the lesson, of course I know this, but I guess you would say I wasn't thinking. It's a 2-skein project, and I'm
going to go get a kit.
I had wound, I'd gotten the yarn right before the shop closed. We had Christina from Chelsea Yarns here at the shop, and she did a trunk show. And I bought 2 skeins of her cobblestone in the color Vanilla Latte. And I don't know what I was planning on doing with it, but when we saw the Peep Show, I had already wound it. I said, gee, that would be great. And I had some quagoo at home, some gold speckled quagoo. And I cast on. I grabbed the skein that was already wound, and I started knitting. And it was lovely. So I got down to somewhere down here when I had to join in my 2nd skein. And I should have alternated because it's hand-dyed yarn. And I never even had the thought that I should alternate. And what happened was it was kind of pooling to one side. And I did have the thought that, you know what, why don't you cut it and restart it, so you'll force it. And I said, oh no, it'll change. Of course it never did. And that's what happens when you don't alternate. So if I were you, I would alternate. Now I do have leftover. Where is my leftover? It's on the table. Did you see it, Dina?
I did.
There it is. I see it right here. And this was the 2nd skein. So if you look at the 2nd skein, I mean, I don't have the 1st skein to show you, so maybe there just wasn't as much of the speckle in it. I don't know. I don't know what the story is, but I did have quite a bit left of the 2nd skein. And I made what size did I make? Maybe the 3rd size, the 40, something like that. And I made it a little longer. I did make it longer than she says, although she was very nonspecific about the length. She really didn't give. There was a schematic.
It's not a crop.
I think it would have been a little shorter if, again, this is probably 20 inches.
Would you have used the 2nd skein if you didn't add length?
I probably would have. I don't even know where. I did the weave and Steven. Mm-hmm. I have no idea where the ends are. She does say to give it a wet block because it helps these things lay flatter.
It's so pretty. I love this whole peekaboo.
And it does have a short sleeve, probably because she doesn't cast on under the arm between the front and the back, which is unusual. I'd never seen that before. But I said, let me try it. So I did.
Did it feel tight?
It doesn't feel uncomfortably tight. They're just short. They're shorter cap sleeves. I mean, I looked at the picture and I could see that's what they were. And I thought, well, maybe that's the way you accomplish that. But what I did do when I took the sleeve stitches off the holder and I joined, I did add a few stitches at the bottom to try to close up the holes. But then I got rid of them. Mm-hmm. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't even really check my stitch count because it didn't make a difference.
Did you use Susan Bryan's technique?
I did. I did. There's this master knitter on YouTube, Suzanne
Bryan.
Bryan, Bryan, and she has some really good tips. I love her one that she tells you how to close up the holes under the arms because even if no matter how you're knitting, you
always get those holes. Always.
Sometimes it's worse than others, but I like using that because it makes it easier then to even if you do have a hole to fix it because it's not that big. So anyway, that's what I did. I'm trying to think if I did anything else.
You can actually add length to the sleeves for those of you who are self-conscious with your arms.
Yeah, and I read before I decided to do anything. I went on Ravelry and I read what people said, and some people did say they added. Many people were talking about the sleeves, but some of them were saying they added the stitches and then got rid of them. So if you were to add 4 stitches or 6 stitches, as you normally do on a sweater, when you pick up the, when you break for the, for the sleeve stitches, that you could do that as well and just make the sleeve longer. Certainly, I had plenty of yarn. It wasn't that I didn't have yarn to do it, but I thought, let me try.
Now it's funny when you look at this skein.
It looks the same.
It does.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like.
And it really was just luck of the draw because I had them wound and I put them with my stash yarn. And I knew exactly where it was, so I opened it up. I just grabbed. The first one I took, and I didn't even think about doing heels.
Yeah, interesting.
Didn't even think of it. But anyway, it was a fun knit, and I used a Quaigu remnants that I had left.
Gold speckle.
Yes, and I will tell you, twice I made the same mistake on the top with these things because you're supposed to wrap. You knit. You know how you do it. You knit, you wrap, and on the next row you drop the wraps. Usually, when you're doing an elongated stitch, this is different. But what I was not supposed to do is, when you come to the stitch that becomes elongated, usually you knit it and you drop.
Yes.
You weren't supposed to knit it.
You're just supposed to drop.
So twice, on the top and the bottom, of course, I just knit
Didn't learn the first time,
and then with, these long things, I'm back, it's just extra tedious, to make a silly mistake like that. And it wasn't that she has a video, she tells you, but of course, when you're knitting, you always know what you're doing, right?
Just another tip, when you're doing those yarn over drops, your stitches tend to look very loopy.
Yes,
like right now they're stretched out because you blocked it.
Yeah.
They opened up.
Yeah.
But they look straggly when you're working with them. That's normal.
And I came to you and told you, right? Did I say to you?
Some people get very nervous. Like we've gotten phone calls about that saying, my stitches look like they're all loose and they're squiggly. Are they going to open up? And that actually happens when you block it out.
Right.
So it is important to block.
That's why I said to Dina, maybe I should only do 2 wraps and not 3.
No,
I think it was
but
3
you need
wraps,
the...
Yeah.
You ended up doing the 3.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
So we're just going to show you some of the kits that we have. This is called Cocoa. It's by Cakewool. You can find it online. The yarn is called Blanche. It's a little washed out here. Maybe that's a little better.
That's better, yep.
It's got a pretty highlighter yellow, some purple, some pink, and we were kind of thinking that this would look really fun and fancy in there. Now, if you have leftover yarn, you can certainly go online and just buy it. The yarn is called Blanche.
And I was just looking up the quantities. I think the the quantities.
Here's another option. This one is called Candy Please. What are you looking at?
I think that she has sizes 1 through 9, and you can do 1 through 7 with the 2 skeins.
Wow, so that's up to size 56.
Right. You would only, if you were doing 8 or 9, you would need a 3rd skein of the slab. So.
Right. So just check the pattern. This one's called Captain Phil.
I love that color.
And that's very pretty.
Oh, that's pretty, Dina.
Very pretty. So just some options. There's some online. If there's some sold out and you're thinking that you want to recreate it, give us a call. If we can, we'd be happy to help.
You only need 2 skeins. Well, for most sizes. As I said, the 8 and 9, you would need a 3rd skein. So 2 or 3 skeins of slub, and you can... And it's really very lightweight. I'm saying I'm hot. I have a dress under it. But, we just opened the shop, and it was warm in here. The air hadn't really kicked in yet. That's why I was so hot. But look at my hair. I'm like a frizz ball.
Oh
my
God.
out
there today.
It is.
Alrighty.
So that's what about your FO?
I am wearing Misurina.
Nice.
This is the test knit that I had done for Caitlin Hunter.
It's interesting, Dinah, that yarn, that gray yarn, it almost looks tweeted.
It does look
Now, why
heathered.
is that? Is that because of linen in there, I think?
Yes, the way the linen takes the dye.
I like that.
It's blended with merino wool, so the wool is probably more saturated in color.
Did you bring some colors over?
I did not.
You want me to go get some?
If you want to.
Do we have kits for that?
I think the kits are
they put aside?
They might be put aside, yes. They are.
So
this is the Misurina. I was lucky enough to test knit for Caitlin Hunter. This sweater has almost everything in it. It's got lace, it's got cables, it's got color work, it's got texture. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's like a pearl texture bump in there. She has the pattern written. If you've seen it, it also has an eyelet option for the body. I chose to do the pearl bumps, and I'm thrilled. I did not go for the oversized fit, so you can see it's not really fitted, probably across the bust, but definitely loose down here. I believe I went for a 42-inch completed bust measurement. I'm getting confused because I just finished the V-back tee. You can always reach back if you want to find out.
Love that one.
We have some kits. The yarn that I used is Moondrake by excuse me, it's Merino linen by Moondrake. This is the fiber right here. It is 90% superwash merino and 10% linen. So if you could see, it's got a heathered look to it. It's the same yarn that we used in the Unwind Shawl. It's the same yarn I used in the wrap by Amba O'Brien. So, a fan of this yarn. I love it. It's got a beautiful
Unwind Shawl. That was popular.
Very popular. I actually brought mine today.
Did you?
Yeah. Can I actually show it for those?
And that was what you used for this too. Here's your Amba Shawl.
Yes. Yeah. So this is my Unwind Shawl. If you remember, this was also knit in Moondrake's Merino linen. It's got a beautiful drape, as you could see. And then the test knit for Amba O'Brien. Another one. Beautiful. It just really is drapey.
Yeah, it's great.
10% linen, really, it's amazing what it does.
Yeah, it's amazing, right?
It's amazing. So,
You're showing some
with that,
colorways.
we have some colorways.
Now, these kits are on this online, correct?
They're online.
Yeah.
And we're getting a new delivery, so if there's some other colors that you're interested in that are sold out. Big recommendation. I did not use the helical knitting up here in the lace and the cables because it was too complicated.
What you did down there.
I definitely did at the bottom.
When you say the bottom, you mean once you split?
Yes, once I actually finished the color work and I went into the body stitch, I did the helical knitting.
It makes sense. I didn't even think of doing that.
Yeah, crucial.
Because it was the yarn. I don't know.
I believe that I did notice right away it's funny, one skein is darker than the other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding this up, and the reason I'm mentioning
it.
Exactly. See how this one is just a little bit darker than this one? But if you were to do the helical knitting, you would never see it.
Correct.
It's ever so subtle, but it does show when you knit. Yeah. So this here is truffle with pink salt. Love this combination.
Love that combo.
Go ahead.
This one is shadow with
teal.
Teal.
Another beauty.
That's very pretty. Shadow is the color you have in yours.
Yes.
Right? I think this is pink salt, right?
Yes.
With blonde. Love that name. Nice neutrals. This one is...
Go ahead.
Seafoam and teal. This is a very, very subtle.
Neutral lovers.
Yeah.
Shadow and sand. That's gorgeous. That's a winner.
That's
I mean, that's just very classic.
And if you're purple lovers, you've got
this
these velvet and lilac.
Mm-hmm.
They've even done this for the Unwind, right?
Unwind Shawl. Purple.
Unwind,
everyone loves purple.
And continuing with the purple theme, this is deep violet also, but it's paired with...
romantic.
Romantic.
Stunning.
Look at that. Here, got it? I don't know where that is. And then, of course, if you love Dina's, you can have
Shadow
Dina's.
and Juicy.
Shadow and Juicy.
No.
And again, it's a sweater. It's only 3 skeins.
Right. For
and what was the size
to check
story?
the pattern for the sizing. Sorry, the phone is ringing. It's distracting.
It's a tele.
The sizing, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure you can get up to the 4th or 5th size.
With the
if
2
I'm not
skeins.
mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then you would just need 1 more skein of the main color, because you certainly have enough with the
oh yeah,
the top
I could
color.
show you what I had left over. This
Right.
is what I had left over.
Oh yeah,
Which is plenty in the Juicy.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I love this colorway.
I made mine longer, by the way. It's meant to be cropped.
And you did make it longer.
I made several inches longer, and I
you
still had enough
left,
yarn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you could see, I think the actual version comes up to about here. I added quite a bit of length. I did.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
There you go.
So those are our latest
FOs.
Summer
Do you have
tops.
more?
I do have one more. Well, I'm getting ready for the winter time.
People started asking about it.
For the cold weather. This is a great hat. This is the Slip Drip.
Slip Drip.
From Jodi Brown.
Yes.
Of the Grocery Girls. And it looks like she says it looks like it's brioche, which probably almost does look like a little brioche, right?
Yeah.
I did not yet put a palm on it.
Too.
You know me and palms.
She's not a fan.
I'm not a fan. Well, no, it's not that I don't know. But I think I will on this one. It looks like it needs one, don't you think?
Well, when you wear it, I don't think so.
No? Yeah. Anyway, so what yarn did I use? I used DK Weight Spun Right Round in color
Jet.
Jet? Okay. And then I used what I had left over from my Sunday cardigan.
She's so good.
Which is alpaca linen, correct? It's
Yes.
alpaca linen.
By Rama.
By Rama. Now, I think the hat pattern, when she knits it, she doubles like a silk cloud, some kind of a mohair. She doubles it. But because this is a little bit thinner, and we've talked about this, you've got that cord.
That's thicker.
Yep. It's thicker, so I did not double it. I just used what I had, and I still have left over.
And you still have left over.
So what I did...
probably make another one.
Correct. So, I mean, it's also nice, too, because I'm sure if you look at the pattern, she probably has quantities of what you need in the mohair, maybe. So...
great for stash diving if you have a little left over.
But I do like the fact that I'm not doubling something.
Yeah, some people don't like doubling the mohair.
Right.
This is true.
I just brought over a couple of different colorways in the alpaca.
It's getting blown out with the color.
There we go. Because we're under the lights. But that's what Dinah's holding is like a real gold. And you can see next to a brown.
Gorgeous. And
then this would be like a chartreuse kind of green yellow.
Almost, it's really yellow.
This is a navy. That's coming up navy. And this is a really pretty light blue. And I think there might be this gray.
There's the gray.
There's a darker gray.
You can find them online.
Yeah, they're online. And and there's like a silvery color. So I also brought over some spun right round. So maybe Dinah can pair some up.
Well, if you like monochromatic, this is beautiful. This one is called Car Wash.
Oh, that's pretty, Dinah.
Isn't that nice?
To make another.
You have to try it on. Can look so good with hats on.
So you pair them up. I'll try that.
Okay, so this is one option. How cute. See, I don't think you need a palm.
I will tell you, I did make one modification in the pattern. She says to repeat this 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then she tells you to do it again. And I said, no, I don't, because it was
long.
It was too long. I mean, if you want to make it slouchy, you can do that. But I didn't need to do it. And it does
slouch a little bit on you, even with that.
And this is what I have left. I haven't weighed it yet.
Yeah,
but I have plenty left. And as a matter of fact, she's coming out with another hat that I was watching the other day that uses spun right round also, but 2 colors of spun right round. So I could probably use this to make that other hat.
There you go.
And I still have this. So I don't know.
This would be a pretty combination, the gray and white. Classic.
She begins with a twisted rib, and then she goes in. And it really is not, it's slip stitching. So if you can slip stitch, you can make it. That's nice.
Monochromatic. Yeah. You can go for drama. Camel and brown. That's gorgeous.
How about the cream and the brown?
That's beautiful.
That's nice, too. How about this?
Ooh, aubergine. Is that the eggplant?
Yes.
What did you call this? Eggplant?
And there are other colors. I just pulled the more of the solid ones. She has other ones that have a little speckle to them and whatnot. But again,
this is also.
She also has
the big teal wave with the light.
She also has a cowl pattern, just like this. And I believe she said with if you have 2 skeins of DK and 1 of the mohair, you can do the cowl on the hat. So if you had
2 DK
and 1 mohair, you can do the hat and the cowl.
So you just have to check the pattern if you're going to, because that's double mohair.
Yeah, but I'm sure. I mean,
what's
first
the yardage
of all,
on alpaca linen? We'd have to figure it out. Always check the pattern to reference.
Right, but again, just keep in mind this is 175 meters, so it's
about 190 yards.
And again, wherever my little remnant went that I had, it's under here somewhere. Yeah. I made the hat, and I used it on my Sunday cardigan.
Right, that was a partial skein to begin with.
Correct. So I would venture to guess that I would have enough to do the cowl, if I got another skein. But you would need 2. But just check. So if you're checking the mohair, just remember, if you're using some of the mohairs, you'd be doubling it. So you want to make sure
that you have enough.
She was saying most of the mohairs have 300 yards.
Usually.
Or maybe some of them even have 400 and some odd yards. So if you have that, you probably have enough if you're doubling it. Anyway, so that's it. The, what do you call it?
Slipped rib hat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's my second FO.
Okay. I have a second FO.
And?
This one is the feedback tee by Knitosopy.
Nice.
Jamie Hoffman.
Yep.
I used Asylum Fibers, Merino fingering, and I have it here in 3 different shades: Tiger Lily, Pink Sky right here, and Forbidden is the third color. I believe I'm out of 2 of the colors, but we're getting a restock in September.
Nice.
I used a 4-color fade. She has 3 options. I used 3 colors, following the instructions for a 4-color fade.
Right.
She has the instructions for a 3-color fade, a 4-color fade, and a 5-color fade.
Right.
Many options.
Right.
It was knit from the top down. She has short rows.
She uses the German
fading,
short row. Yeah.
German short rows, and yeah, it was a lot of fun to
And her
knit.
fade is done in such a way that it's a very, it's not just, she uses all 3 colors in the fade.
Yes, it's not a typical fade.
Or whatever it is,
right.
whatever the amount of colors are.
So it was fun. A fun knit. Happy that I made it.
And she has since come out with a DK version.
A DK version. I have to say, the only thing I'm a little bit upset about is I probably knit a size too small for me. I think I went for, so I did my typical going for my bust measurement thinking that it would be a lot more flowy, and it wasn't. I did get gauged.
It fits you fine, though.
It fits me.
I mean, if you look on Instagram, you'll see a picture of Dina wearing it.
I know, but, you know, it was a crafty picture. I'm sitting down. It was
Did
like
you
one
tell?
of those. It's not going to look that small on me.
It's fine. Did you tell them that they could reverse it?
Yes, I did not, actually.
Did you?
I didn't. No, I didn't. Good point. So this is called the V-back tee. For those of you who saw my Instagram, I was wearing the V-neck in the front. It's actually can be reversed. You can wear a round neck and have the V-back in the front.
Mm-hmm.
In the back, excuse me. You could see by...
And you see the look is different. So if Dinah wears it with with the rounded front, if she wears it this way, you get that flattering V, whether you're wearing this in the back or the front, but it's reversible, so you can do it either way.
Right.
And you can customize the length.
When you said reversible, I thought turning it inside out. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know that feature too.
You know you could wear that inside out, Dinah. So funny.
I wonder if you could.
You might be able to. Well, listen, that's how you look at it.
Depends on how you weave in your ends.
Exactly.
Some of them aren't woven. It's like, don't show your slip. I still have some ends hanging out.
There's one right over there.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Anyway.
We'll let you do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was a V-back.
Yes.
And what's next?
Should we move on to whips?
Yeah. What do we have?
You want to start?
I have, well, since Dinah just talked about hers, I might as well talk about mine. I also have the V-back. Mine's not done yet, though. And
Pam's is so pretty.
I used Suburban Stitcher yarn as well as
Asylum
Fiber. And you can see 2 of them I had to wind at home. That's why they're in balls. But I know Dinah can tell me how close I am to being done when she sees I am on the short rows. But I still have a ways to go. Right?
Yes. Now Pam is doing a 5-color fade.
With 3 colors.
So you can see the difference if you hold it up.
You see, Dinah started with the light and went down to the dark. Right?
Yes.
And then ended with the light. I started with the dark. But these are my colors, though, right here. So I'm better to show you on this. These are my colors. This is my dark. I think that's Hurricane, right? From Suburban.
Yes.
Then it's
Route 66.
From Asylum.
Colors are getting a little washed out.
They are. And then this is Boyfriend Jeans from
Suburban Stitcher.
Yeah, that is blown out. Suburban. So I'm doing dark, medium, light, medium, dark. And I'm on the medium, the fourth way. But now the short rows are getting shorter. Well, I'm doing a larger size. So mine is longer to begin with. It's 10.
I added length on mine.
You did? Yeah. No, I didn't think so. I don't know. When I measured it, I don't remember now. I have to look at the pattern. The length was long enough when I looked at it, so I didn't add to that. But it's not blocked or anything. Look at those little bit of green in there. Anyway, so there's the V front, and there's the rounded back. So hopefully,
very pretty.
Hopefully this will be done sooner than later. I mean, the short rows are getting shorter now.
When you get to the short rows,
back and forth, right?
Yes, but then they get long again.
They get long again.
Yeah.
Well,
so she's pretty much like
I'm halfway
down here.
through. Where am I? Is that where I am?
Yeah, when you're doing the short rows, it's hard to show it. The short rows actually happen in here. See these? These are the short rows.
So when I'm done with my section of short rows, I'll be over here. Then I have to do down there.
Right, but if you look at the back or at the side here, you could see that this bottom section, these short rows go back and they get longer and longer until you get all the way
so they're getting shorter now, then they're going to get longer.
Exactly.
And
it's
also
really clever the way she wrote these
keep in
instructions.
mind that at this point, you're not in the round anymore. You're working flat.
Yes.
So you're knitting and purling. And that slows you down.
That slows you down a bit.
So that's why I'm trying to be mindful. I think I'm supposed to do the short rows 8 times. I've done them like 4 times now. So I have another 4 times. And those should be fast because they're getting shorter.
Right.
But then they're going to get longer again.
It's like an hourglass. In and out.
Exactly. And it's fingering weight too, of course. Right. So
yes. Imagine how much faster it would be in her DK version.
Right, there you go.
Light bulb goes off.
There you go. That
So
may
if
be
you
a
can make
fall
it-
knit. That may be a fall knit. It is a
Exactly.
fun, it's very well written. And I will tell you, I sent her a message on Ravelry and she answered me
Right away.
right away.
That's great.
Right. And she's also commented, hasn't she also commented on Instagram
Yes.
with the pattern, which is
Yes,
always
it's
nice.
always nice when the designers
Right.
respond right away.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Dinah's next whip.
I am knitting the Rift. Do you want to get the Vera?
Yes.
Rift is designed by Jacueline, and I'm so sorry I can't pronounce her last name.
Yes.
It's spelled Cieslak. This is the Rift. Here you'll see it in the short sleeve version, which is what I am knitting. This pattern is available as well in a long sleeve version. Right there. You see her wearing it with long sleeves, so it's definitely versatile. I think you can wear it with a V-neck front or a round neck front. So another reversible two-way type of sweater. You can make it long sleeve, short sleeve. If you don't like the crop version, you can certainly add length. I'm literally at the point where I need to determine whether or not, sorry, it's a little wrinkled from my bag. It's got a split hem, which I love. I love the fact that the back is a little bit longer than the front. I love the detail of the bottom rib. It's a twisted rib, which is lovely. A lot of people have asked me about that border, which is super pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not sure if I want to make it cropped or not. I know that I have my ranunculus, which is relatively cropped. I like the length of my ranunculus.
So why don't you make it the same
I
length?
was
That would
going,
be
yeah,
good.
it's exactly what I'm going to
You
do.
should
The
get
only
good use
difference
out of
is
that.
this is a drop shoulder pattern, and my ranunculus is done from the top, knit from the top down. So it's a yoke sleeve, so it's different. So I
Mhm.
just have to kind of figure out the sleeve length
That's right for you.
before determining
It's pretty,
where I
Dinah, too.
divide. So yeah, this is.
Did you show them that side?
I
detail?
did.
That's
I
so
did.
pretty.
Love it.
I
Love
like
it.
this yarn too,
So this is Vera. I'm using Vera by Anzula.
which is 65 silk, 35 linen. This
Now
is
I thought it was all
linen.
linen, and I should have known there was silk in there. Now that I'm aware,
Well, you can even see when
feel
you
it.
look at the
Yes,
dye
it's
too.
gorgeous. I
This
love
color is elephant, which is a gray. This is Dinah's color, which
it. Let me
is
see something.
curry.
Can you tell online?
No,
So
tell them your story. This again,
why do you
it's
need
coming.
to do helical knitting?
It's coming. It's washed out, but
Let me show you my two skeins.
yeah. And then the third color that we have is Nimbus, which is that really pretty. It is like a very
seafoam
light
blue.
seafoam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
So that's Vera. I'm using two skeins to do the short version. I don't know what the pattern calls for as far as sizing. I don't know, Pam, if you want to check that.
Yeah, show me as well.
So I cast on. I was so excited. I did the back. It tells you to do the back hem. Then you have to join and do the front hem. And no, knit the front hem and then join. I go to join and do my helical knitting, and I notice that my front and back hems are completely two different colors. Why? Because with hand-dyed yarn, it's quite difficult to get two exactly the same skeins. So I had to rip. I did not want to rip twisted rib hem twice. So what I ended up doing, I'm not sure if you could tell here on the camera because it's blowing it out, but my hem is actually darker than the rest of the body. But my two hems are alike, and then I did the helical knitting in the body. So you might see a slight variation, but not so bad. And only me and all of you will ever know.
No
one else will know.
So funny.
And that's my story. It's always important to do alternate skeins. You don't have to do helical, but you should definitely alternate skeins when using hand-dyed yarns. Otherwise, you get the ball banding.
Well, I will tell you, for yarn requirements, is that Vera? Is that what that's called? Vera? Vera that Dina used. The first 2 sizes, and almost even the 3rd size. You're 10 yards short on the 3rd size. So depending on, how long you want to make it. Of course, you want to look at the length and everything. But then you would be into a 3rd skein, because with 3 skeins, you'd have 900 and, whatever you'd have. What is... 355 or 365. 365. So that's just what's probably 1,100 yards or so, and you'd probably have enough to do. Where are her sizes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's got 9 sizes to do 8 of the 9 sizes
with 3 skeins.
Correct.
Again, as long as you're not modifying and adding.
Yeah, and again, you always have to look at that. Now, I brought this yarn over because now you can do it. You're not doing, are you doing long sleeves?
Pardon?
Are you doing long sleeves?
No.
You just were
I'm doing the short sleeves.
You're doing the short sleeve.
Right.
So that's another thing you'd have to check as well. Didn't we see it done in this?
I believe the original pattern
was done in that.
Or one of the original suggestions was done in Luma. So if you
I looked here.
Go to Ravelry and you search the pattern Rift, you'll see some yarn selections. And one of the popular ones was Luma by the Fiber Company.
Which we have. I just put over 3 colors. This one is like a bluey, what did you say, blue purple? It's called Violetta, but it really, to me, almost looks more blue.
Yeah, but it has a purplish, it has a purplish cast.
This is your basic cream, which this is called Blanca. And this one is called Chambray. It's like a denim.
Very pretty.
And the nice thing about Luma, I knit a poncho with Luma, is it is made out of wool, cotton, linen, and silk.
It's a mutt.
It's a mutt, exactly. But it's about a 21, the gauge is 21 to 23 on a 5 or 6.
Right, so the pattern does call for, was it Sport or DK? DK weight yarn.
Was it? No, DK.
And you're actually knitting it on a larger needle, so it's going to open up.
Right. Yeah, the loom is a nice yarn. I knit this on it, and it really has a nice, I don't know if it's because the cotton is in it.
Also has a lovely drape.
It has a nice drape, so you could use this as well, the loom, if you wanted to. You just go, it's on the website, isn't it, the loom?
Now, one of the beautiful things in this pattern, if you are blessed with big girls.
Yeah, big girls.
Jacueline offers a feature for darts in the bust. So that's kind of nice for size inclusive and nice, arms. Yeah. She talks about measurements for your arms to allow for the sleeve opening. So it's a very well written pattern, conscientious to all sizes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And she also did the Ursa, right?
Yes, another favorite.
That's another nice one, the Ursa. So that's good.
So that's one of my whips.
That. Anything else?
Yeah. Are you going to go?
Oh, I have.
Should we take turns?
Yeah, I have the. Still working on the Lavalake from Stephen West.
I'll hold pinpoint. This is stunning, you guys. Stunning. You have knit so much. Let's start with this color.
Yeah, that's from Asylum. I think
Wonder.
It was Wonder, correct?
And then we get into a few colors.
That was from
Emma's Yarn, Himalayan Salt.
Correct. I don't know the name of this one.
Farmer's Market.
Might have been. Vintage Christmas.
Vintage something.
Yeah. This was Artfill.
Artfill Bell.
It's a teal color. Then we're going. Now we're at.
Then it reverses.
So there's the point. Hold on. Let me get this here.
Look how pretty. Yes.
There you go. And now we're going back down. So I'm up to. I just.
So she hit the center point.
Yep.
She faded to the center, and now she's fading back out to the lightest color.
I just lost all my stitches.
Oh no!
Hold on. I'm only concerned about the edge stitches, those 3 slip stitches. But anyway, I'm back down to the second. I'm already down to the second color.
It's incredible.
So,
moving along much faster, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know what it is. You lose a stitch every 2 rows, so it still is a bit. But once the rows start getting smaller, and that's
so pretty.
Yep. So it's very pretty. So
Yeah.
hopefully this will be done. My goal is to have it done by the end of the month. But if you want to see a finished one, show them this one, Dina.
This one belongs to one of our customers from Florida.
We have it the right side out. Look at that. This was
This
a kit
is
that we
gorgeous.
put together. Right?
Yes.
Pretty in pink. Do we have Lavalake still online? I think we do.
There might be a few.
Yeah. You can find these online.
If not, you can always call or FaceTime us. We'd be happy to create.
Yeah. Or pick your own colors. It's 5 colors. You may have 1 or 2 colors at home. Maybe you just need to add a few colors
to it. If I'm not mistaken, right? Some of I think the first 2 colors, they have less than a full skein.
Right.
Not
Yeah,
as
the
much
one.
yardage.
Right. The one. Actually, I think the one that you use the least of is that center color. Yeah.
Really.
And the one you use the most of is the 3rd color. So, but anyway, so that's Lavalake from Stephen West, which I've enjoyed knitting. You're also doing, but you don't have it with you, do you?
I don't.
Dinah's doing Botanica. No, Botanic.
The Botanic Shawl.
Which is nice from Stephen West, right?
Yes.
And
I'm laughing because it's resting on my treadmill.
It's resting.
Yes.
Must be your treadmill knitting.
It's my
right?
treadmill knitting.
There you go. Well, listen.
So it'll be interesting
it's
to
your
see.
easier knitting.
Well, it's not really, it's
compared
relatively
to some
easy.
of the other things, maybe.
I still have the I-cord in there. No, but what I'm saying, I was laughing because you'll know. Well, actually, the rows are getting much longer.
Yeah.
It's just one of those. It starts at the point and gets wider. But if I'm not hitting the treadmill, it's not getting it. That's what I was laughing at.
Oh, is that what you said? It's interesting. Sometimes when you're knitting, like when you were knitting or we were knitting the V-back tee, at the part where it's just going around and around and stockinette.
See, that I could knit with while watching television.
But it's not engaging mentally because it's just knitting.
Right.
And so we were timing our rows. You know, how long does it take to do a row? So when you're on the treadmill with that shawl, you can probably, especially since you're on a treadmill.
Well, I'm supersetting.
How far can you go doing a row?
All I do is actually 2 rows.
You do?
In my whole, because what happens is I'm using the treadmill to superset.
Yeah.
So I'm doing weight training, and then I'll go on the treadmill
on
for
and
a little
off,
bit.
on and
yeah,
off. Yeah, so
I'm not really getting that much done.
Okay.
If you need to know everything.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Any other whips?
Yes, I do. I have my mile forward.
Oh, yeah.
So these are my socks. You may have seen me post them on Instagram. This is my toe up, and this was, is it Julia's cast on?
No. It's
Judy's Magic Cast On.
Jodi, yeah.
Judy's Magic Cast On. I'm not really a sock knitter, so I don't know all the terms yet. But let me just tell you, this cast on was brilliant. It's getting washed out.
It is. Go closer. Yeah, you got to get the light.
Let's see if I'm back here. You can't really tell.
Maybe if you went like this a little bit, Dina.
There's no seam, is what I'm trying to tell you. I'll turn it inside out. It's a brilliant cast on. I'm sorry, guys. The lighting is terrible. Pam is telling me I need to get one of those light stands.
Well, I think with 41 podcasts under our belt, we're
going to invest.
Right. We can do some more.
Anyway, I thought it brilliant since I've never done it before. I love that when I put on the sock, I'm trying to find
but show them the other one.
I'm trying to find
that
it.
really has the... You didn't bring it?
I did.
Oh, I was going to say, Dina.
I don't have it on a sock blocker yet.
Well, that's okay. But stick your hands in there.
So I did the stretchy cast off, but it's not that stretchy. I need to undo it. I pulled too tight. It fits on my foot.
Is it comfortable on your foot?
It is.
So then, it's too tight though.
No, it's tight when I put it on. It's not one of those socks that I just slip on. I have to kind of fit it on.
You want it, yeah. You know, I was talking about that recently on the podcast was the Grocery Girls.
Really?
On Tracy had knit socks, and she had to redo. She said she had to redo it because one of them was they were talking about the bind-offs. One was too loose, and one of them, I think her sister likes them a little looser.
See, I like it tight because I don't.
I like it tight as well. Yeah, I do as well.
So I may not take the whole cast off out. Like I have a little bit of. Well, I started to weave it in, but I have a little bit.
Okay, so put your hands in there. Show them that
great lace pattern. Okay, so this is the lace. This is called the Mile Forward sock. Absolutely.
Dina
I find it so
Squishy.
feminine.
Yeah.
I use Squishy. I didn't pull any skeins. It's an MCN. Toe up. I've never done this heel. It's called a Flegel heel. Brilliant. The way it's done.
Yeah, that's pretty.
You don't have to
You
pick
don't have
up,
the
no
ribbon
waste
down,
yarn.
yeah.
No, it just happens. It's magic. And yeah.
And tell them why you knit it.
So
the story of that.
Well, she had put in a note when she published the sock. The sock was called Mile Forward. And one of her messages is just put one, the year started off kind of grim with the whole COVID pandemic. And one of her messages was put one foot in front of the other and just keep moving forward. And that just spoke to me. These are, hard times. There's been a lot going on social media. There's politics. There's everything. Everyone just seems to be drowning. So I just really was inspired by her message and fell in love with this. It's like a romantic sock.
How was the lace to do?
The lace is not difficult. It's a 16-row pattern. Every other round, of course, is a relief round. Mm-hmm. And I enjoyed it. So what I basically do is I try to complete one repeat a day.
Right. And you're doing Magic Loop?
Yeah, so it was funny because I posted on Instagram. A lot of people, were sending me messages. Oh, don't get trapped in second sock syndrome. So I posed a question, how do you stop second sock syndrome?
What were they telling you?
So the most popular comment was do 2 at a time.
Oh, I can't do that.
But I've already finished.
That doesn't apply to you because you already did
so
one.
I couldn't do 2 at a time. So I quickly cast on the second, and here I am.
The fact that they're shorties makes it a little bit better.
They were fun. I want to knit another pair. I said that these are going to be for me. We're moving Sophie.
Are you going to give them
to college? I think I might surprise her and just
she's
give
not
them
going to watch the podcast.
She's not going to watch it.
Well, you may have to give them to her.
I may, yeah, because the project that I cast on for her to knit
is not done.
No,
is it going to be done?
No, not even close.
Tell them what she wanted you to make.
Yeah, so
she made a leg.
So typically, you'd think your child would want a
blanket,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So of course she's buying everything for her room because we're not going to be shopping while we're there. She's in every Target, Home Goods. She's online buying sheets and comforters. And she asked me about the throw, and she said, "I don't want you to knit me a throw. I want you to knit me another bear." So who was it? I knit one for Danielle. So Danielle went to college.
What kind did you make her?
I did the caribou.
Oh, you did the caribou.
Yes.
Does she still have it?
Yes. And then Sophie was jealous. She was like...
So Sophie had to outdo her sister. So she said...
5 years away.
She wants the same bear, but...
No, she got one. I knit her.
You made her a caribou. You made Sophie a caribou.
Yes.
I'll give you my caribou yarn at home. Maybe you'll make it.
But now she wants another one. For her
But tell them what she wants this to be. Do you have a picture of the foot? You had it. You showed it to me.
I showed it to you. I could look in my...
Okay, so Sophie picked, the big, what would you call that yarn? Chunky,
big
that you buy in the craft stores, like in Michael's. They recommend a 19 needle? Do they recommend a 19
Something
needle?
like that. I think it was 17.
Bigger.
No, it was a 17 needle.
And so Dinah's, and are you doing that with Magic Loop?
No. I thought...
DPNs?
Yes.
Yeah, because you're going to stuff it, you want it to be closed up. So I think Dinah's on size 15 DPNs. There it is.
Not sure if you can see it, but there's one leg.
Is that the whole leg?
It hurts my hands.
Yeah, well, that's hard to do that. Yeah,
not fun knitting. So I'm actually on a size 15 DPN.
I really should do that for the girls. I have the yarn.
You have to.
I have the regular yarn.
So yes, I'll show you progress as I guess I could start posting. She knows what I'm making her anyway.
Yeah,
she picked it.
Yeah, exactly.
Might as well knit what they want.
Exactly. Oh, listen, it's your last one. Going to college.
It's going to be so emotional. I'm
so
dreading.
I know it is going to be. We were talking about this a year ago.
Well, I'm so dreading this. I had a hard time when Danielle went. I don't know why. I just did.
The girls more than the boys, you say?
Yes. I think so. I don't know why. I just did. I think I have a lot more angst this year, of course, because of COVID.
Yeah, but I think you'd be upset in either event.
Oh, for sure.
Because we were discussing
That's just adding
this
another
year.
layer. Yes, I definitely would have. Right.
Yeah.
I'm just emotional.
Yeah. Well, it's kids, you raise them. You raise them to be independent, and
you
then
raise them to leave them,
right?
So that
and then they annoy the heck out of us sometimes, right?
Oh
what
gosh. Anyway, Mile Forward socks, highly recommend it. I do have to say, I received a notification. I did have a modification.
Mm-hmm.
Not a modification. I thought a correction. So I reached out to the designer, and I believe she modified the pattern. But I think there were a few more. So if you need my notes, I'd be happy to share. I sent her a message. I haven't heard back yet.
Is it going to be on Ravelry?
I need
Ravelry
help.
Page? We'll do that for you.
I tried.
We'll do that.
I really did try.
Because that's the best place.
Yeah.
Just
I should just put it there. Yeah.
I mean,
will you help me? This is not on Ravelry either. I need to do that.
It's so easy to put something on when you're in the middle of knitting it because you know everything about it.
Right. But what happened was I'm not able to share. I don't know. It's not like there was a glitch. Sharing my pictures.
I see what you're saying. Right. We'll figure it out.
Okay. So that's whip number 2.
What else?
You have your like a cloud. I have
well, my like a cloud is my ongoing one that I've shown you. Remember, I decided to do 2 rows a day.
Yes. She's probably almost done.
So this is where I am on my 2 rows a day. I put a progress marker, and this is where I was when I decided to do that. It was there.
Oh, wow. Look at how much you've done. Are you at the rib?
I started the rib.
Yay!
The first few rows of the rib, and the rib is 4 inches, so. But I'm going to run out of yarn. The funny part about this is when I made...
It's so gorgeous in the gray.
Isn't it pretty? It's color tar. It uses Shibui's Cima and Silk Cloud held together. I'm on a size, I think it's a 5 or a 4. I don't remember now.
I think it's a 4.
It's a 4, right. And
this is by Joji Locatelli.
Joji Locatelli. And I put the yarn aside, and now I can't find it.
Didn't you get it the other day?
No. Back in July, I needed more. And I knew, when you know something is somewhere, and I think when we were straightening for Yarn Crawl, I put it somewhere. I mean, this is my recollection now. That doesn't mean that's what happened. This is what I'm recalling, which I've learned doesn't always mean that's what it is.
I don't straighten.
So anyway, I put it. I thought I put it downstairs. I can't find it. I went crazy when you were gone on vacation looking for it. So then I just decided to, I took a skein off the shelf, but I don't know if we have enough of it, so... But I will definitely need one more skein of each color. But for now, I can still keep going.
Very pretty.
And that's my like a cloud.
Very pretty. So that's by Joji. And I'm doing a test knit for Sweater Freak. She said I'm allowed to share.
Good.
I posted. It's got a houndstooth motif.
Is it a cowl?
It's a cowl. I'm using Clinton Hill cashmere.
Lovely.
In the olive. Like khaki green and black.
And that's the bespoke, the worsted weight cashmere.
No, it's actually the DK.
Is that the DK?
Yes.
Nice.
So very pretty, lovely to work with. And yeah, I'm
cashmere.
at the halfway mark.
Lovely. It's like a houndstooth, right?
Yeah. So stay tuned.
When is that pattern coming out?
I'm not sure. The test knit has to be done by August 24th.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. We're almost there.
I know. I have to start knitting.
Now this is when Dina starts knitting at night.
I've made mistakes. That's the problem. I'm so excited about my socks that I've kind of put that.
Right. Well, you've got the deadline on the socks too.
Yes.
Of course you do.
Yeah. Leave it.
Yep. Anyway.
All right. So that's it for whips. Should we move on to...
Want to talk about the Joji needle?
Yes. Yeah. So if you've watched or followed us on Instagram, we mentioned yesterday that we are going to be promoting some projects for Joji's Knit Along.
Correct.
She just released on the 15th that from the 15th to the 30th, if you purchase any of her self-published patterns, they are all available for 20% off. You need to buy that yourself through Ravelry. If you ask me to buy it, you don't get the her discount. Right. So it might be a good time if you were interested in more than one of her patterns. You may want to go ahead and get them.
Right, exactly.
Right,
you're going to get 20%
stock up.
Off.
You'll get 20% off.
And if you want,
which is very generous.
Correct. And if you want to, you don't have to. You can register on. She has a Ravelry thread, because the knit along will run from September 1st to November 30th. At the end, if you're registered, you can be eligible for a prize.
Right. So you do want to join her Ravelry group. She's got her threads. You'll want to post your patterns. You definitely have to register if you want to be part of her giveaway knit along. If you just want to knit along at your own pace and do your own thing, of course you don't have to.
Yeah, and she even says that she has a separate thread for the, I want to say rules, but if you have any questions. Right. And that's where I found out that my like a cloud does not qualify.
My super simple summer sweater
does not qualify.
No.
You have to start
it. I have one sleeve left, but I can't use it.
The only thing you can do before September 1st is gauge. And she has all kinds of things, like what if I want to register for, super simple summer sweater and I change my mind. She tells you what to do with that, so she does tell you that.
She covers all the bases.
As a matter of fact, today, Dina, as a side note, before I forget to tell you, I know this is not going to be now because they're not going to see it now, but she has a shop update today where she has a little cotton printed bag, project bag.
I saw that.
That we can snag today on a shop update.
Maybe we should do that.
And she recommends buying multiple things. Yeah, so you're not paying for shipping. Yeah. Well, maybe I want it for myself.
Well, maybe I'll
give away. Give it away.
Maybe I'll.
You can do that. But anyway, my point is, I think we should do that today. Okay. But anyway, so she has.
The point will be moot for you guys. Sorry.
We have. I would say we do a lot of Joji projects in the shop.
I love Joji's patterns. Mm-hmm. I love her technique in writing patterns.
Yes.
I love that she's so brilliant and crafty, and things just come together so seamlessly. Mm-hmm. And she's brilliant. Mm-hmm. She's absolutely, I think she's a genius.
And as you can see behind us, we have several projects. Dina made the cable jacket. I don't know what the name of that is.
This one is called All of the Lights.
Correct. And we've seen that on the podcast before.
Yes, I've shown these.
It's a DK weight yarn. I think she used Asylum, right?
I did Asylum. I used her a signature Vogue color from one of the shows.
Right.
I fell in love with the color, so I did this jacket. Brilliantly written.
Yep.
Fabulous. Each time you do a sweater, it's just a little bit different.
Correct.
Over here is another cardigan that I knit.
Another cable cardigan.
Yes.
What's that one called?
This one is called Citadel. This one has a little bit of a shawl collar. It's got pockets. Mm-hmm. Both jackets have pockets. The one in the back has a cable trim on the pocket. This one is just worked right in.
I love the way she does the sleeves. Like, she has a cable on the sleeve, but on this one she has, it's like a, what would you call that? A garter.
The pattern. Stitch on the side?
Yeah. And I love the stitch on this one.
Yeah.
And it's not just stockinette or reverse stockinette. She always does something interesting with it.
But, these are intricate patterns. Each cable panel has a different row.
Yeah.
Repeat.
You're doing several cables at one time.
Exactly. So this is not for your beginner knitter. You really need to stay focused. This is why I don't knit at night.
Well, this should that you better off in the morning.
Watching TV.
I think.
Another one of the knits that I did was this was one of her mystery knit-alongs. I have never had more fun with a knit-along.
Which was this called?
This one is called Starting Point Shawl. Absolutely magnificent.
So where was your starting point?
This was one point. You start here and you get clues.
Mm-hmm.
And you make two pieces. So what happens is that you make two pieces up to here.
Up to where this darker color
yes.
is. Through that darker color, right?
So these are two pieces equal, exactly the same.
And
then they merge, and then you actually pick up these live stitches this way and work up that way. Yeah.
That's very ingenious. How did she ever thought of
Genius.
that?
She's got another shawl called Fading Point, which we have a couple kits for from Asylum Fibers. We could post that on Instagram, or you can call. 5 skeins of fingering weight yarn.
It's lovely.
A lot of fun to knit because you have all the different pattern stitches. Great knit.
Yeah.
Attractive.
Keeps you interested.
Yes. I've done her 3-color cashmere cowl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it here at the moment.
And she has a 3-color cashmere shawl.
She's got 3-color cashmere shawl. So what we're basically going to do is inspire you through Instagram. Show some of the pieces, some kits that we're featuring. Pam's going to show you a couple of hers.
This was the Suburban wrap that she did. I probably did this about 2 years ago. And I love the shape of this one. It's like an arrow. It has the point. It has different stitches.
Love it.
And then she ends it with like a fishtail at the bottom. Isn't that great?
This one takes 3 skeins.
3 skeins. Yep. So that was popular in the shop. And this I did. I did these. I started them during her knit along 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Her when she was doing it, and these were socks.
Another fall knit along now.
Fall, yeah. And but these are DK weight socks. So have I yet to wear them? No, because they are a little heavier. I used a
They're like slipper
Madeline
socks, no? Like you can wear them at home,
Correct,
like
I
in
can.
bed in the winter.
It's called, I think it was Madeline work sock yarn. I don't know if they say it's sport weight, but it really feels like DK to me. They say it's sport. You know what I always envisioned myself wearing this with? A pair of clogs.
Yes.
That's what and I don't have a pair. I always envisioned myself wearing hand knit socks with a pair of clogs.
Do your kids watch the podcast?
No.
Maybe I should send them a little plug. Clogs
for mom.
Clogs for Christmas.
Anyway, so they were a fun, but this was your traditional knit from the top down. I don't know.
Sorry, guys.
I can't stop it. I don't know.
Sorry.
Anyway.
She's going to hear herself on the podcast.
Anyway, so they were from the top down, and I did 2 of these, and I used it's a Madeline Tosh color. I don't remember the name of it now, but whatever. There you go.
Copper pink?
Something copper penny, maybe.
Copper.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so this was but did I finish this in the prescribed period of time for the knit along? No. But they're done. Doesn't make a difference.
Right. Now, did you join the thread at the time and sign up?
No, I did not.
Right. So you don't have to. It might inspire you, but you may not want the pressure.
And I also thought that and I lose my train of thought now.
The phone's
I was watching people outside. I've also done her gradient cowl.
Yes.
Which I couldn't find right now, which is another nice knit.
We've done so many. Here's the Boxy.
Yes.
Her,
this used hedgehog singles for this.
This one is a popular. She's got the V-neck Boxy. She's got
worsted weight Boxy. My daughter is making a Boxy too.
So this is a lovely sweater. Then I have Slow Curves.
Oh yeah, this is another nice one.
It's another pretty one. There's short rows in there with the eyelets. Barbara knit this one for us as a sample.
I think we're backwards.
Sorry.
There you go. Isn't that pretty?
Very pretty.
This was again Madeline Tosh, right?
Yep.
Any fingering weight.
And yeah, so hopefully we'll inspire you.
Plus we do have another one. Oh, we did print it out, didn't we, Dina, this one? The
Hipster?
Speaking of her. Yeah. But there was another one too.
There's the Hipster Cowl, which we actually featured on Instagram. We have a few kits using the Mayak medium base. So that's a lovely one. If you're looking for a free pattern, she's got the Odyssey Shawl, which she published. You can always use that. If you don't want to purchase a pattern, you want to stash dive. If you have 3 skeins of coordinating colors, you can do the Odyssey Shawl. It takes 3 skeins of DK.
Nice. Yeah. What was the one that we did the kit for?
If you want a Age of Gold shawl. If you have a single skein of stash yarn that you want to use and you don't want to buy anything, if you get her pattern, Venezia. It's a pattern online. You can get it for 20% off now and stash dive with one of your skeins. There is the Storm Shawl.
Storm Shawl is
another single skein. Yeah. She's got several.
She also has Age of Gold.
Age of Gold.
Now this you'll find on the website. Dinah has kit these up. Hold that up there.
Sure.
There you go.
So these are kits. Whoa, you got all the labels
this
there.
Is pretty. This is the color that's in my my Lavalake.
Yes. Is that Wonder?
This is Wonder. So again, if you look at her Age of Gold, this you can do with, I think she uses 1.5 skeins of fingering. So if you go on the website, look under kits, go to Age of Gold, you'll see what colors are there.
Yes.
Just wanted to show you a few of them.
And then we also have, she recently released the staple linen top. So if you're thinking of something small, like a linen top, it's sleeveless. You don't have to commit to a big cardigan or sweater for fall.
You won't get stuck on Sleeve Island.
That's true. We have, I believe it was written for a yarn that is sold at East Bass Tricot. It's called Petite Linen, yes. But she has other yarns that she suggests. I think Reed and Twig were one of them. So we have a beautiful selection in Twig. I think I did an Instagram post.
I was just going to say that. There's an Instagram post that you can follow, too.
So for this base, you're definitely going to want to purchase the pattern, see what size you want to make, and figure out how many skeins. Right. These are not kitted because every size is different.
Correct.
There's the Faraway Dream Shawl.
That's pretty.
Julia wrap is another popular one. The three-color, we spoke of three-color cashmere cowl or shawl.
And we did a live last night. Is that on? We didn't kit that, did we? The three-color cashmere?
I did kit it, and they actually are on the website.
Oh,
yes, I haven't done it.
Was that for the cowl or the shawl? Do we do?
I think it's for the cowl.
Correct.
Yes, because you need different yardage for the shawl.
Right.
I'm thinking of the hipster. The hipster, you can do a hipster cowl or shawl with the 5 skeins. So you could pick.
I'm just going to get one. Do you want me to
The Mayak? Sure.
Yeah. Why not?
We'll show you Mayak.
I'm just going to get one skein of each.
No problem.
So that you can show that.
We have yarn everywhere. So these colors are available. I put them as kits. This one is called Petrol. This one is called Emerald. Ooh, there's a little fuzz bunny. Then you have Desert and Oatmeal. Very pretty.
And these are the cashmere kits that Dina put on the website for the 3-color cashmere cowl.
Right. Now these are on sale. So you'll see them for $70 a kit, which is a really good price for cashmere.
100% cashmere.
Yes.
Yeah, it's sport weight.
Weight.
Just so you know what you're getting into. But this you could use also for her 3-color cashmere cowl. And there are a few others. If you go on the website, you'll see what the colorways are.
Yes.
Okay.
Several kits. All right.
Is that it?
That's it for Hohi.
Yep.
I have one more announcement that I want to cover.
What's that?
Are you guys knitting for Rhinebeck? I know Rhinebeck is canceled. Yeah. But here's a shout out for Christy. Christy is doing her Rhinebeck, what is your Rhinebeck sweater? She's got several rules. I missed some of her lives, not her lives, her Instagram stories. But there's a certain way she wants you to, if you are participating, and you should, support your local yarn shop. Buy yarn, knit a Rhinebeck sweater.
And then you can take pictures of it and upload it to her.
Yes, you have to take it it's horizontal.
Yeah.
Is it a video that she wants you to send?
Yeah,
or I think it's a video.
Well, I guess you could do a picture, but she was talking about, I thought it was a video.
A video.
And she'll take
a short
either one.
Clip. Yeah,
right.
But if you follow Christy, I'm not sure if she has it on her, is it on Ravelry?
She probably has it on, I don't know that. I don't know. She probably has a video on it, a Rhinebeck sweater up on YouTube. I'm sure, because she usually does that.
Probably on her podcast, you're right.
You know, and I'm sure if you follow her, she's going to be talking about that going forward. Yeah.
Yes. So hopefully you will be making a Rhinebeck sweater. I have to contact Danny and see if she's doing a
giveaway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if we're participating in that. And yeah, everyone should be casting on. What are you going to be doing for your Rhinebeck sweater?
I have no idea. I always find that, that always, how
that
stresses me out. So,
What are you knitting for your... That's our question. I told you we'd have a question.
What is your Rhinebeck sweater
What is your Rhinebeck sweater?
But before Dina...
find a question for the end of the segment.
Before Dina ends the thing...
Oh, God.
Okay, I told you to stay tuned to the end of the podcast. And, as we were speaking of earlier on, the Knitting Place has been on... That's okay, you don't have to listen. The Knitting Place has been here since 1997, which is 23 years. This past spring, correct?
Yes.
And
June
over
1st,
the years,
actually.
we've seen many things come and go. When Dina opened the shop, when thick, fat yarns were the big thing. Remember that? And things have come and go. And one day, she was approached by someone local who was starting a yarn company to write some patterns, design some patterns, which she did. And I'm making a very long story very short. So during this whole relationship with this yarn company, Dina wrote 2 books, correct?
Yes.
Well, there were some other ones in the
Yes,
second book, but you had several patterns in the second book.
Correct.
But the first book was all your stuff.
Excuse me.
You're not answering.
No, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
putting it on.
Oh, good. Okay. Anyway, so we have some of these books, and I don't know if you're aware of it. They are up on the website, or they will be up on the website for purchase. But what I think we're going to do is we're going to start a segment, and we're going to call it... The phone is going off like crazy. Anyway, so this is the book, Seasons Change. The name of the yarn company was Aslan Trends, which is no longer around. They just went out a few years ago. It wasn't that long ago. I wanted to look this up before. What year was this done in, Dina?
Let me check the book.
Can you check?
Yes.
Anyway, so what I would like to do is feature...
2007.
It was 2007, 13 years ago. is to, and remember, it takes time to do this. So really, probably you made it, you were working on it for a while before. So what I would like to do is each week feature one of the designs. The design I'd like to feature this week is this one right here. We used a yarn called La Pampa. And now Aslan's yarn came from South America, didn't it?
Yes.
Right. And La Pampa, as you can see, is a textured yarn.
It was a boucle yarn.
It was called the Cozy, pardon me for turning away, but it was called Cozy Coat was the pattern. And I'm not sure, is this pattern on Ravelry?
I don't believe so.
You don't
I think you
so?
have to buy the book.
Okay, so anyway, we were talking about, hold on to this for a second, things come, things go, yarns come, yarns go, remember? Ladder yarn, sparkle yarn, remember all that stuff?
Furry yarn, eyelash.
Yarn. We've seen it come and we've seen it go. So we were looking at this and I said to Dina, this is absolutely perfect because it's, this is back. We were ahead of ourselves 12 years ago, 13 years ago. Where's the other color? I'll find it. But anyway, look at this yarn from Woolfolk. It's called what, Dina? What's it called? Flet bulky. There's a flet that's a thinner weight, but this is the bulky weight.
I think it's on the chair.
Is
the
it?
Natural.
Yep.
Yeah, the color.
Yeah. So look at these great colors. Wouldn't they be great for that jacket? The Cozy Coat. And the gauge is exactly the same. Mm-hmm. Right? I was looking at this, and it was like meant to be because I believe the gauge on the coat is, I don't remember now, 3 stitches to the inch and on an 11 needle.
Right.
So
I think there was better yardage. I think the flat bulky has better yardage, if I'm not mistaken, than what La Pampa had.
A little bit better. I think La Pampa was 109 and this is 125 or something like that. And I think it takes 7, 8, or 9. So that gives you an idea. 7 skeins, 8 skeins, or 9 skeins. And this has 131 yards. So it's about you have to do the math and see if it's about the same. And of course, length is always a question. But I think it's time that we featured Dina. I mean, how many people knew that about Dina, that she wrote a book?
Yeah.
Huh? Now, she won't say that, but I'm saying it. You don't have to say anything. Anyway, so there's some great, I mean, honestly, aren't there some good patterns?
I mean, not every,
think that's
a timeless coat.
I'm not saying all the patterns aren't nice, but as in any book, there are 3 or 4 in this book that are kind of like, you'll see, because we'll feature them. And again, the yarn, I also was looking on Ravelry, and there are some people on Ravelry who have 10 skeins in a stash of La Pampa.
Really?
Yes.
We should message
There
them.
are a lot that have, 1 or 2, but 10 skeins, they could make this jacket. And it's not, I mean, I don't know, Dina, if I go back to the patterns, are there schematics on these? There are, right?
There should be.
Where is that La Pampa?
Sophie modeled in this book.
Where is the La Pampa? It's got to be the first one, right?
Yes.
There it is, Cozy Coat. Is there a schematic? I mean, listen, it's
drop shoulder,
very easy knit, very easy knit. So again, you got to do it. You should be aware of it. If you'd like the book is on the website. But what I'd like to do is each podcast feature one of the designs that were in Dina's book that have been a staple here in the shop. And I'm just amazed. I was so excited when I saw this yarn. I said, we could do the Cozy Coat. Anyway, so there you go. That's it. I'm done.
All right.
Time to go.
Yes. We're
late.
15 minutes late.
I have a lesson in 15 minutes, I think.
We said we weren't going to podcast for that long, and now you've been with us for an hour and a half.
I think, though,
amazing.
We should do a podcast before Labor Day.
Okay.
I think. What do you think? You think that's a good idea?
Yeah.
Pinky swear?
Pinky swear. I'm moving Sophie next week.
But that's not Labor Day. Labor Day's after that.
I know.
I go back to school before Labor Day. Oh, that's another topic.
When's Labor Day?
Labor Day, the 1st is a Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday's the 3rd, the 4th.
Oh, definitely.
The 5th,
I'm
6th,
thinking
7th
the last
is Labor Day.
I'm always thinking it's the first weekend of September.
When are you coming back? What date are you coming back?
I come back on the 26th.
Oh, so it'll be back. We have time to. Yeah. So pinky swear. You know what Lucy does? My Lucy does a pinky swear. And then they go like this.
How do we do it?
They kiss it. And that's, she'll go to me, pinky swear. At 3 years old, she's already knows a pinky swear. Mwah! There will be another podcast for Labor Day.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Happy knitting. I hope we've inspired you. Yes. Join the Ho He Cowl. It's tons of fun.
Leave us a comment. Let us know what your Rhinebeck sweater is. And we really appreciate each and every one of you for watching, leaving comments, reaching out to us during the day, calling, emailing. All right. Take care. Bye.